here all night. She's been sleeping.
Any activity at all?
No, none. I know that I like what I'm reading in your faces. What's the heavy hitter doing here? There's something going on I don't know about.
Perhaps we'd better talk outside. It's entirely possible Miss Delfield can hear us, can understand everything we say.
Okay.
Robert, I brought you a cup of coffee. I thought you could... Is Catherine worse?
There's nothing to be worried about yet.
Yeah. So there is something to be concerned about, though.
Well, she has hypoxia, and we are watching her electrolytes, but not enough to concern anybody yet. But if her electrolytes don't change, then one of two prognoses is likely. Either she will lapse into a permanent comatose state, or she may have some degree of permanent brain damage.
No.
Wait. All right. Well, what's going to be done about it, then?
Well, we have given her fluids and medication, and it's just a matter of time.
Come on, guys, that's hardly good enough. Now, look, if you people are running out of tricks to pull, I can get another body of guys in here who haven't.
Well, you're free, of course, to bring in anyone you want.
Damn right.
But he'll only tell you the same thing we've just said.
We'll see about that.
Look, Mr. Scorpio, we know how you feel. And I wish there were more we could do, but... Well, I'll check in on her again in an hour.
You better take this. My hand's trembling, so I'm going to spill it.
I guess I'm not helping things much by blowing my cork.
I think you're angry at yourself. You know, you had nothing to do with any of this.
I should have done more to keep her in Port Charles, shouldn't I?
Oh, you did everything you could.
Yeah, but it really wasn't good enough, was it?
Well, don't forget, if it weren't for you, she'd have died in that storeroom. She'd have suffocated.
Bottom line of it is, Mary, I could no more protect her than I could Duke Lavery in the end. Think about that.
Oh, Duke. Oh, you know, Robert, I've had Catherine on my mind so much, I've hardly thought about Anna and the trial.
I guess it's been going for a while. Look, why don't you go in there and sit with her for a bit? I'm going to make a phone call and see how Anna's doing.
Give her my best, will you?
Yeah.
Victor Jerome is capable of unmeasurable evil. His little hobbies consist of racketeering, prostitution, illegal gambling, and selling drugs to your children. The tentacles of Victor Jerome's family embrace every form of corruption known to mankind. On the other hand, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Duke Lavery's family consisted of a loving wife and a beautiful young stepdaughter. Duke Lavery was a good man. He was a courageous man. He infiltrated the mob and stood up to a jury just like you and pointed an accusing finger at Victor Jerome. But it wasn't enough for Victor Jerome to rip Duke Lavery's family apart. It wasn't enough for him to separate Duke Lavery from the two people that he loved most. But Victor Jerome wanted Duke Lavery dead, and not just any death. Victor Jerome may as well have lit the match that turned Duke Lavery right into a human firebomb. Just like that. In front of his beloved wife and their beautiful young stepdaughter.
I don't know what he's trying to do to me. You're gonna get us thrown out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had hoped to provide you with testimony from a young woman, an eyewitness, who overheard Victor Jerome give direct orders to murder Duke Lavery. But you won't be hearing her testimony. You know why? Because last night she was beaten to a pulp and left for dead in an alley. Because today she lies in a hospital bed, unable to move. Because she knows, as we will prove to you, that Victor Jerome murders and maims anyone that stands up against him, just like he murdered Duke Lavery. Ladies and gentlemen, We hope, after listening to all the evidence, that you will return with a verdict of guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, with a recommendation that that animal receive the maximum punishment. Thank you.
Does the defense wish to make an opening statement?
Well, we certainly do. Ladies and gentlemen, this defense does not need to hide a weak case behind bombastic oratory. Mr. Baldwin spoke most movingly about a young woman, an eyewitness, I believe he called her. He told you much about what she would have told you, but he also said she would not be here to testify. He pointed out another eyewitness, Mr. Lavery's widow. I don't believe she'll be able to testify either, eyewitness or not, because she too has no proof that Mr. Victor Jerome was involved in Mr. Lavery's death. But there is one fact you must keep in your mind throughout this entire trial. Mr. Victor Jerome, under our law, sits here as a man presumed to be innocent, no matter what slanders Mr. Baldwin throws around, until there is absolute and incontestable proof to the contrary. Now, you'll find no proof in this trial because there is no such proof. Therefore, you are required by law and under our sacred Constitution to find Victor Jerome not guilty. Thank you.
Mr. Baldwin, you may call your first witness.
The prosecution wishes to call Officer Rollins as an expert witness.
Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Who would ever believe a coping sore or lost for words? I've never seen you so silent.
I just can't believe it.
Oh, well, I can, and I think it's wonderful. I just want to go dance, and I just want to go tell everybody. Let's go for a walk through the park. You want to? We'll kick off our shoes, and we'll run through the park. Come on, let's go.
Whoa. I want to check these papers out, okay? I'm just going to call Karen Kennedy and have her go over every single paragraph, and then I'm going to call the prelate, the guy that I met with yesterday. You know, it won't take 5 minutes, I swear, okay?
Okay, but I want to be the one to tell her.
Okay.
The prosecution's first two exhibits, the hotel stationery with Malone's name and number on it, and the letter from Malone's girlfriend about the Swiss bank account. Whose handwriting is on the hotel stationery?
It's the defendant's, Victor Jerome's.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. Samples of his handwriting have been compared.
And the letter Malone wrote about the Swiss bank account, is that his handwriting?
Malone's?
Yes.
Oh, it's definitely Malone's handwriting.
Thank you. No further questions.
That's great. You know, this is because Malone's, Victor Jerome's lawyer will never be able to break this whole man's testimony.
Just watch, honey, just watch. Just watch.
May I? Thank you. You're going to have to forgive me. I'm a little confused here. Would you help me out?
Sure.
Well, show me just where it is. I can't seem to find it.
Can't seem to find what?
A reference in either of these documents to Duke Lavery or to any murder.
I can't.
Well, why not?
Well, the words aren't there. I mean, not specifically anyway, but the obvious
Just answer
inference
the
is...
question, yes or no. Do these so-called prosecution exhibits refer specifically to Duke Lavery or to his murder?
No, they don't.
Thank you very much. No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Call your next witness, Mr. Baldwin.
Your Honor, the prosecution's next witness is an Agent Carver of the Federal Witness Protection Program. He's coming in from Washington, and unfortunately, his plane has been delayed.
I'll give you a half-hour recess, Mr. Baldwin.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Yeah. Scotty. Victor's lawyer's not too shabby, and I know why you're calling Carver, too. But I'm telling you, he doesn't have any specific knowledge of any direct connection between Duke and Jerome. Believe me. Yes, I mean, the defense is going to kill him.
I know that he is punching holes in my case here, but I have got to associate Victor Jerome's name with Duke Lavery's death as much as possible. Get that right on the record. That's all I've got right now. Excuse me just a minute.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you
crazy? What are you doing getting here in the courtroom like this? What are you, nuts?
No, I am not nuts. Of course,